they going to get there? It's so tight to the line. And
when Usain Bolt, the most electric, untouchable athlete on earth, stops his own Olympic celebration and stares at a television screen in utter shock, you know something historic just happened. It didn't happen in the 100 meters. It didn't happen under the glare of lane 4 or 5. It happened out in lane 8. The dreaded blind lane, the lane where nobody wins gold medals and where setting a world record is considered mathematically and tactically suicidal. For 17 years, Michael Johnson's 400-meter world record of 43.18 seconds stood as one of the most indestructible barriers in human athletics. Scientists said running a 400-meter lap any faster pushed past the physiological limit of the human heart and lungs. Then a quiet 24-year-old from South Africa stepped into the outside lane, ran blind for 43 straight seconds, and erased the limits of what was considered humanly possible. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and let's get into the unbelievable story of Wayde van Niekerk. To understand the miracle of Wayde van Niekerk, you have to go back to July 15, 1992, in Cape Town, South Africa. Wayde was born at just 29 weeks, nearly 3 months premature. He weighed barely 2 pounds. His mother, Odessa, a gifted sprinter whose own athletic dreams were suppressed by the apartheid era, was told by doctors that her son might not survive the night. Even if he pulled through, physicians warned he might suffer permanent neurological damage or never walk properly. Wayde didn't just walk, he flew. As a teenager at the University of the Free State in Bloemfontein, Wayde possessed blistering natural speed, but his body was fragile, constantly breaking down with hamstring pulls and back spasms. That was until he met the person who would reshape his destiny, Anna Sophia Botha, affectionately known across South Africa as Tanny Ans. She was a 74-year-old great-grandmother with snow-white hair, cat-eye glasses, and decades of old-school coaching wisdom. While the track world was obsessing over modern sports science and high-tech biometric labs, Tanny Ans coached with a stopwatch, an iron will, and unconditional love. She saw that Wayde's explosive power was tearing his muscles apart in the shorter sprints. Her solution was radical: move him up to the brutal, soul-crushing 400 meters to build true aerobic endurance. The 400 meters is universally regarded as the most sadistic event in track and field. It is a full anaerobic sprint that pushes the human body directly into lactic acidosis. In the final 100 meters, your blood fills with acid, your muscles seize, your vision narrows to a pinhole, and your lungs scream for oxygen that isn't coming. Sprinters usually pick their poison. You are either an explosive short sprinter who runs the 100 and 200, or a long stride rhythm runner who grinds out the 400. You don't do both, unless your name is Wayde van Niekerk. In early 2016, Wayde clocked a blistering 9.98 seconds in the 100 meters. With that single race, he achieved something no human being in history had ever accomplished. Not Usain Bolt, not Carl Lewis, not Michael Johnson. Wayde became the first and only man to break the holy trinity of sprinting barriers: sub 10 seconds in the 100 meters, sub 20 seconds in the 200 meters, and sub 44 seconds in the 400 meters. He was the most complete, versatile sprinter to ever walk the earth, and he was heading to Rio with a target on his back. August 14, 2016, Rio de Janeiro Olympic Final. The field was hailed as the greatest 400-meter lineup ever assembled. It featured the 2012 Olympic champion Karani James and the 2008 Olympic champion LaShawn Merritt. Because of a conservative semifinal run, Wayde drew lane 8. In track, lane 8 is a tactical nightmare. You start so far forward on the stagger that you cannot see a single competitor behind you. You have no visual cues, no rhythm to draft off of, and no way to gauge your pace. You are running completely blind. In over a century of Olympic history, no man had ever won 400-meter gold from lane 8. The gun fired. Wayde didn't run a tactical race. He sprinted the first 200 meters like a 100-meter specialist, hitting the halfway mark in an unheard of 20.5 seconds. Behind him, James and Merritt assumed the young South African had panicked and would implode on the home stretch. But as they turned into the final 100 meters, Wayde didn't slow down. He accelerated. His head stayed completely still. His knees drove through the air with mechanical perfection. While every other runner tied up in excruciating lactic agony, Wayde seemed to float over the blue track. He crossed the line, 43.03 seconds. He didn't just win gold. He took 0.15 of a second off Michael Johnson's 17-year-old world record from the outside lane. In 43 seconds, Wayde van Niekerk had delivered what many commentators still call the single greatest foot race ever run in track and field history. By 2017, Wayde was the undisputed king of world athletics. He defended his world championship title in London and was being groomed as the global face of track and field following Usain Bolt's retirement. Then, in October 2017, disaster struck in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. Participating in a charity touch rugby match in Cape Town, Wayde planted his foot awkwardly on the wet wet grass. His knee buckled. The diagnosis was devastating: torn anterior cruciate ligament (ACL) and severe meniscus damage. Just like that, the fastest 400-meter runner on Earth was grounded. What followed was a brutal, multi-year nightmare: complications, multiple surgeries, grueling rehabilitation across clinics in Doha and the United States, and the soul-crushing isolation of watching the world move on without him. The explosive tendon snap that made his stride effortless was compromised. For nearly 5 years, critics whispered that Wayde van Niekerk was finished. Most athletes who suffer catastrophic knee injuries never return to elite sprinting, but Wayde refused to let his story end on a rugby pitch. Through sheer grit and dedication, he fought his way back to global championship finals in Eugene, Budapest, and Paris. He proved that even when the body loses a fraction of its youthful bounce, the heart of a champion remains unbreakable. Today, Wayde van Niekerk's 43.03 stands as an immortal benchmark, a world record set from the hardest lane on the track by a premature baby who wasn't supposed to survive, coached by a 74-year-old grandmother who believed in him when nobody else looked. Do you think anyone will ever break the 43-second barrier and run 42 in the 400 meters? Or will Wayde van Niekerk's 43.03 stand for the next 40 years? Drop your predictions in the comments below, hit like if this story inspired you, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the legends of track and field. See you in the next one.